Hey guys, you're watching the last semifinals of IEM Katowice, brought to you by Chaotic TV. We are in Cloud Kingdom, the game 1 of this TVP. In the top right, we have the red Terran playing for Team MVP. He is Dream. His opponent in the bottom left, the blue Protoss, playing for Team Team SK Telecom T1. He is Parting. We kind of trounced Yoda in the last best of 5 we saw from him, and Dream beat Daisy pretty handily in the last best of 5 we saw from him. So we're really going to have to see which one of these players stacks up against the other, as we've seen some great games out of IEM right now. Not the most watched tournament, I should say. There's a little bit of a pause going on, because IEM isn't. It has quite a large prize pool, but it's mostly a greater amalgam of players as opposed to mostly Koreans, and the bigger names are there, but they're not, they're not as prevalent as they are in closer places to Korea. Since this was played in Poland, IEM Katowice, Poland, the tournament was a lot of European players, and anybody who made it through the open bracket was mostly European players, as opposed to IEM Singapore, which had a couple of extra Koreans in it, and a little bit more of an Asian persuasion going on. Parting is just doing the standard Protoss build, as is Dream doing the standard Terran, so we're just going to have to kind of talk a little bit until we get to the point where there's something really going on. After this IEM, since these are the last semifinals, and I'm casting the finals directly after this, and we're going to upload them ASAP tonight, we're going to move back to IPL 5, because I bought my ticket for IPL 6 today, and I want to see what happened in IPL 5. I remember watching part of it on the live stream, and I remember watching a bunch of the VODs. I even cast a couple of selected games from it when I was still doing some Halo 4 coverage, so they were more sporadic and farther apart than I wanted to be, and so I'm going to fill in the gaps that were there and bring you some awesome games from big-name Koreans at one of the most fun barcrafts you could ever have. Now, Parting has taken a much quicker second base than Dream has. Dream, I think, is a little bit behind right now. He's saving up for a CC. He'll drop it right here, but it is already too late, and it looks like Parting is going to be able to, I guess when you go up the ramp, that's why they put it here, so you can't see it. But we are going to see a little bit of a bunker push, just drawing those probes away, and essentially this SCV will get killed, or at least the bunker push will be stopped completely. He has not killed very many workers, and both of these players are just kind of waiting to see what happens as the game progresses. I don't really expect anything kind of crazy. Parting did a really great robotics facility proxy in the last map we saw on Metropolis, and to finish off his last game against Yoda. Yoda, who was playing very greedily with 3 command centers in all 3 games, probably thought he could get away with it that time, but he was not as successful as he wanted to be. And we do see 2 more barracks coming out of Dream. He's dropping on 2 more refineries, so he's going to go for either upgrades or he's going to go for more defense-oriented play. He's going to drop a bunker of his own at home, and we're going to see the Stalker Zealot probably set up, come across. Now Dream has got, he's trying to kill this, he's checking for forward pylons, which this probe would love to put down, but the Stalker takes out a Marine, and there's going to be a little bit of a push right here, just to keep the Stalker away from viewing that Dream has put down a second base of his own. He actually hasn't yet. He's going to drop the Mule up here, and then move it down to the south, so he uses the absolute best out of the energy in that local command. Now we finally see, I can't say finally, there's nothing tech-wise that's very interesting coming down from Parting right now. He's just dropping more gateways and stuff like that. So we're 6 minutes into the game. It's been a very passive game so far. Granted, there was a little bit of a scouting issue on Dream's fighting Parting. Parting was able to move away and see that there was a bunker there, and he can assume that there is a second base there. And he's just free to go home and tech up, which he's starting to do with going into robo play, dropping down 2 more gateways. or not gateways, excuse me, refineries, assimilators for Protoss. They're called assimilators. And this Stalker will definitely die without concussion shown. Brought in those extra Marines and was able to get it done. If I sound a little meh today, it's because I'm sick once again. I think sleeping 5 hours a night for over a month is not healthy, and it's really weakened my immune system or something like that. But we see a robotics facility in a rather interesting spot right here. It keeps drops from happening right here, which is a really prevalent spot. But right here, I mean, he could snipe this pylon. Be pretty crippling to the upgrades and robotics facility. He's going to drop this. He's going to get an observer for high ground vision, so in case he wants to do some dropping of his own. Parting has done some very interesting warp prism play in the past. He is extremely well known for his immortal pushes and stuff like that, but we already see that there's not going to be anything of that sort in this game. We see a robotics support bay coming down right now. I guess it's just called a robotics bay now for the Protoss player, and he's going to be going into Colossus pressure, a Colossus attack pretty soon. He's not dropped a third. Neither player has dropped a third. It might be that Parting is saving up to get his first Colossus out. He might chrono boost it out, but Dream is moving across the map right now. Both players kind of doing a little do-si-do to see that each one of them becomes great force field is going to be able to block all of these units off, crippling half the force that is right here. Now Dream is going to go for a backwards attack. He's already stemmed forward. That's kind of a big deal. He's just getting there that quick. He's able to snipe off all of the warping in units. There are no force fields coming back in, and that is a huge amount of lost resources. He pulls all these probes. Parting is losing so many workers right now. He's only lost 4, but the continued micro stutter stepping of Dream will continue to knock these out even quicker. There's no EMP, but it kind of looks like it, having all their shields gone. He'll be able to start sniping off the key tech of Parting if he can move forward and knock out this robotics facility. If he can take out that pylon, it'd be better. But he's got a warp in on the high ground of Stalkers, and he comes back in, and Dream, with some reinforcing units, is going to be able to clean up and continue his pressure forward. But he wasn't able to snipe that robotics facility before it got out. That Immortal, now the Immortal is going to be quite powerful against these Marauders. You can see 2 shots essentially, since they're already stemmed forward and having a problem. He cleans it us up very, very quickly. Dream's continuing some pressure, and he's just regrouping at this Zelnaga watchtower while Parting does some extra warp ins, and he's going to get some extra sentries for more force fields. Now this is a larger choke, so that probably means that Dream's push is going to be a little bit better than Parting would like. There's no easy force field off here. You can't be any kind of economic with those force fields. Now there's an observer right here that's going to see all of Dream's positioning, and excuse me, being sick means I have to breathe every once in a while. Since I can't breathe out of my nose, I have to stop talking enough to breathe in. But anyway, Dream right now is just building up more and more. You can just see that the army supply is a little bit in his favor. The harvester supply is slightly in his favor as well, plus he's got mules. So Dream's taking quite a bit of a lead right now, killing 16 workers, and Parting is doing what he can to reinforce his own economic setup. He does not have Colossus coming out right now, which would probably be very helpful to him because he just can't afford it, dropping out 2 more gateways, going for the more stable tanking for these Immortals instead of the high DPS Colossus that can be easily picked off. Now Dream is taking this out so that there can't be 2 force fields. There has to be a minimum of 3 or 4 to block this entirety right here. And the high ground vision is being given by that factory, so the medevac can stay behind, and he pushes forward 3 force fields down, knocking out a couple of these Marauders, and he's able to knock out all of the zealots of Parting. Parting right now is able to hold that off very handily. He's going to be wrapped around here. It looks like Dream's going to come in for the longer path, but he does not have his reinforcements going that way. They're still going to that first watchtower, and it looks like now he's got them moving across, and he sees that Parting is moving up to block his approach. He's going to be able to get this Stalker, but Parting is now a little bit scared. He's going back home. A big drop going to go into the main. That's a great idea, and it doesn't look like there's enough feedback energy to really hurt these. I mean, he could hurt them. He did scare Parting into going back home, so Dream is just going to go out into the middle, and he's going to be fed back by these Templar, but there are 2 still working medevacs right here, and he's going to be able to continue this pressure. He's knocking out all of these zealots and stuff like that. He's pulling his probes again just so that he can try to tank some more of the AI targeting, but he is losing even more workers right here in time, and all of the tanking units for these Immortals are now gone, especially with these Stalkers and Zealots in the back warping in. They're far enough away from the pylon that they can't do any kind of defensive work, then continued stutter step micro of Dream is just impressive, killing off all of these zealots. Desperation force field is not going to save that Immortal, and there, over the timing and constant pressure push, Dream takes Game 1 against Parting in this TVP. We're going to bring you Game 2 in just a second, guys. Thanks for watching Chaotic TV. Cheers.